Yo, what's up guys? Make sure you guys watch this whole video. It's going to be filled with a bunch of Bulls news. A bunch of rumors and news came out, I'd say a few days ago. And before I get into today's video, if you guys want me to make another mailbag, make sure you guys leave some questions below. It can be about basketball, the Bulls, or just me in general. But yeah, let's get right into today's video. So by the time I'm recording this video, I think it's been a day or two, but the Bulls have finally found a new general manager. Sorry I'm a few days late, I've just been super busy with work and such. But anyways, the Chicago Bulls have signed the Philadelphia 76ers GM Marc Eversley. And this is some huge news because the Bulls have been, of course, searching for a GM for a few weeks now. And like I said, Arcidiacono has said that this was going to be a long, extensive process because he wanted to find the right guy for, the job. So I'm happy he finally found this guy. I don't know much about him. I do know the main 76ers GM was Elton Brand, and he made some questionable moves. I mean, they were big, bold moves, but just the core of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid is just weird. But like I said, I felt like Elton Brand had most of the control, and Eversley didn't really have that much control. But this is also another big thing about this signing. Eversley will become the first African American GM in the Bulls franchise history, and I don't really care about that. I mean, it's good to see that the Bulls are, of course, adding other than just white people. I don't care if he's white, black, or pink. I don't care, man. As long as this man can sign good players and bring us back to the old Bulls and win us a few championships, hopefully, I don't care. I 100% trust him and Arcidiacono that they'll make the moves to get us back into the playoffs and hopefully a championship. And the good thing that I've noticed about the Bulls front office is they have a lot of experience. And Eversley, he comes to the Bulls after runs with the Sixers, Wizards, and Raptors, and Nike. So him working with Nike is also pretty interesting. And speaking of him working with Nike, he spent 10 years working for them. He was a retail store manager and then became the go-to person for the company's basketball player relationship division. So that's pretty cool that he has obviously connections with NBA players and Nike. And like I said, he's obviously really experienced in the league, which is really good to see. And Joe Crowley on Twitter said he just spoke to a source that pointed out that new Bulls GM still has good relationships with the members of the Raptors from his days in Toronto. And speaking of Toronto, that's where former Bulls assistant Adrian Griffin resides as an assistant. And there's been a lot of rumors about Adrian Griffin, coming back to the Bulls and being a head coach this year around. So it kind of makes sense. I mean, like I said, Arcidiacono, aimed to him a little bit. They were good friends or whatever. And now our new GM, is linked to Adrian Griffin. And there's been a lot of rumors about him becoming our new coach. So that's my number one target right now. I believe the Bulls will hire him as coach. But yeah, back to our new GM, Marc Eversley. His resume is pretty stacked. Like I said, he's been around. He's really experienced. He was the 76ers assistant GM from 2016 to 2020. But before that, he was the Wizards VP of Scouting from 2013 to 2016. And he rose from Director of Basketball Operations to Assistant GM with the Raptors from 2006 to 2013. And before all of his NBA experience, he worked 10 years at Nike before entering the NBA. And I've also been seeing a lot of people on Twitter really being just happy for the Chicago Bulls that they got another good target. Like, everyone was really high on the Arcidiacono signing, and I can say the same with this signing. And this guy just has a good eye for talent, which is, of course, great to see in a GM. He first recognized the talent in DeMar DeRozan when he, of course, worked with the Raptors. He was also really high on Damian Lillard. And speaking of new changes and more moves, Arcidiacono isn't done building this new front office, so that excites me. He just keeps adding more scouts, more weapons to just completely overhaul our front office and make us, like I said, a stacked front office, and I'm just super excited for it. And Casey Johnson said the Bulls aren't done, like I just said. The Bulls have interviewed former center Nazr Mohammed, who worked for Sam Presti in Oklahoma City, for an unspecified role. So that's pretty cool to see that Arcidiacono is still hiring and still trying to, add more talent to his front office. So I'm super excited to see what other moves he makes. Of course, if he does anything else, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated and make a video. And Casey Johnson also said he was talking to a bunch of people around the league about Marc Eversley. And one of his most consistent themes is that he has a really good and strong relationship with NBA players. He had a really good relationship with DeMar DeRozan in Toronto, and he also had a great relationship with Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. And like I said earlier in the video, it looks like Arturas is still hiring for more roles and spots. And it sounds like Eversley is more on the scouting side, along with Arturas. Of course, he's a great scout, and Conley is also a good scout, and JJ Pork is the cap guy, of course. So I'm just waiting to see who else Arturas signs to add to our front office. And yesterday, it was Arturas' birthday. He turned 49 yesterday, and of course, he's got a new GM in place. He'll continue the process of getting to know the roster, coaching staff, and medical staff and front office holdovers. With no set NBA calendar, time remains on his side before next decisions. So it looks like Arturas has pretty much got most of the main pieces down. I'm sure he'll maybe sign a few little guys, but right now he's just like processing the rest of the roster and the coaching staff and medical staff. Hopefully we get rid of all the coaching staff and the medical staff. That has been a big problem for the Chicago Bulls for many years now, and they just need to get fired as well. But like Casey Johnson has said, with no set NBA return date, there's only so much Arturas can do and wants to do. He's going to take it slow and find like he said with every other search, the right people for the right job. So it makes me happy to see that he's just not rushing and he's actually finding good talent and good people. And the final topic in today's video is that David the Catman and on ESPN said about more change coming with the Chicago Bulls. From what he keeps hearing is that they are not done by a long shot. They're going to overhaul the scouting and play development department. And he also said, I do not see a scenario where Jim Boylen will be back as head coach next season. And he said Adrian Griffin is the #1 target and he'll most likely be our head coach. So that's good to hear for the most part. I'm pretty interested to see who he'll continue to sign for our front office and be the next head coach. I also saw that Phil Jackson has been helping current Bulls coach Jim Boylen. He's been giving him a lot of coaching advice, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, there's not much on it. I just saw it on clutchpoints.com, so I don't know what that is all about. The Bulls need to fire Jim Boylen, and everyone knows it. Even Jim knows he doesn't deserve the job. He hasn't done a good job. He's more of an assistant coach in this league and not a real head coach yet. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this update video. Like I said, if you guys want me to make a mailbag soon, make sure you guys leave any questions you got for me below. Thank you guys for watching this video and all the love recently. Have a good one.